Good morning. Welcome to Glam Chats. Really excited to have everybody joining in. For those of you who don't know, you can ask me questions in your little private chat box, and I'm happy to answer any of those. Um, I'm really excited to talk about today's topic because it's taken me a really long time to get comfortable with it. Today, we're talking about online reviews, the good, the bad, the ugly. And online reviews used to be my biggest trigger. Anything less than a 5 star would just really stress me out. I would think about it, it would keep me up at night. And I would over accommodate the client that left the review, even if the review wasn't valid. And that's just not something we have to do. So I want to talk about a few things. Today, we're going to talk about the 3 types of 1 star reviews and how to deal with each of them. We're going to talk about good reviews, how to respond, how to use them for your advantage in marketing, how to pay the review sites to get good reviews, and how to ask your clients for good reviews. We're going to talk about whether we should use Google or Yelp. And then at the end, and this is a fun one, I'm going to read you some of our favorite 1 star reviews from Bucks and Co. And I'm going to talk to you about how I responded to them and whether it was correct or not correct. And sometimes I'm not trying to put anybody on blast, so I'm not going to say the names of people who wrote them, but they're just going to be my all-time favorites that used to trigger me, and now I can kind of laugh about them. So to get started, let's talk about our most hated 1 star reviews. If you haven't gotten a 1 star review yet, you will get one. It's uncomfy. It feels yucky. It feels personal. I want you to know that there are people out there that write 1 star reviews just because they get joy out of it. And these are the first type of reviews I want to talk about. These are the crazy reviews. These are the people, when you look at their profile, you see that they've written 150 1 star reviews and 2 5 star reviews. They go into a place looking for reasons to be upset. Some of them are fishing for discounts or refunds. Some of them just are never satisfied and you just happen to get that client. This is usually a new client, someone you've never seen before, and they have unrealistic expectations. So this review is the review that is like 4 pages long. It criticizes everything down to the pictures you have on the wall, the lighting in the bathroom, what you were wearing. It might make a personal attack, like say that you were stupid or didn't know what you were talking about or inexperienced. This is the review that is very easily identified as a crazy person review. I want to talk about these reviews because you do not have to give this client a lot of time. The reason being, when someone reads this review, if they even hang in there to read the whole thing, they're going to read it and go, wow, this person's crazy. And they're not going to take it into account whenever they're choosing whether to use your services or not. I do respond to these reviews. Honestly, when I do respond, I do not want them to reach back out to me. I already heard everything they have to say. I don't think they're a reasonable person if they've been hateful or rude. So a lot of times I will say something along the lines of, hi, we're really sorry to hear about your experience. It sounds like we just weren't the right fit for you. We always strive to do our best, and we wish you tons of luck in the future. Um, I don't leave my contact information. I don't tell them to reach back out so that we can fix it because the review is there. It's already damaging. This is not the type of person who's going to remove their review. So I just don't engage with them. And again, this is the review that is absolutely crazy. And this is the person who's mad that the door was too heavy when they tried to open it, was upset that you couldn't do their full highlight in 30 minutes. The person who walked in and wanted a full highlight and you weren't available. These are the people that are very, very clearly crazy. The second type of review, these are the reviews that are either not real, someone who's never been there, someone who maybe is a competitor. And unfortunately, this does happen, who's made a fake review, or someone who's never used your services. We have a couple of these. One of them, for example, starts with, I've never been to the salon, but. Okay, if you've never been to the salon, then you'd have no business reviewing us. It's the person who says, I've heard this, or I've walked by and the girl in the window wasn't wearing something that was appropriate, or these are these kinds of reviews. That could also be, I called and 1 star, their haircuts are $80. That's ridiculous. Who do they think they are charging $80 for a haircut? I will go somewhere else. That's not a real review. These can be from bots where it's just a 1 star review with no explanation. It can be a competitor that says something that's very clearly a personal attack on you. The good thing about these reviews is you can actually report reviews as not useful. There's 3 little dots next to a review on Yelp, and when you click the dots, it says report review. It gives you options on why you're reporting. The most common one is not useful. This client has never been to my business. This is discriminatory. So if somebody ever puts anything discriminatory, you need to have that taken down. Or it could be that it's a bot or spam, but you can actually report these reviews and have them taken down. So it's important to know your rights with Yelp and Google and what's not acceptable, or if it's slander. So know that and have those reviews taken down. The third type of 1 star review, and this is my least favorite, are the real and relevant reviews. These are the reviews where you just didn't hit a home run. It could be lots of things from taking the client an hour late to forgetting their service to turning their hair orange, something that you didn't plan. You didn't do your best work. This might even be an existing client, and you really honestly feel horrible about these. These are the reviews that if somebody were to read them online, they would consider them real and relevant, and they would take it into consideration as to whether they were going to visit your business or not. We're going to take these reviews very seriously. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to respond. We're going to say, I am so sorry that was your experience. I strive to do my best work. Unfortunately, it sounds like I didn't hit the nail on the head. I want you to know that I want to make your experience right. Please, please reach out to me, and I will reach out to you as well to see if there's anything I can do to fix this. Again, I'm so sorry that we didn't get you where you wanted to be, and I'm so happy to do whatever I can to make it right. This is where we accept responsibility. We apologize, especially when we know it's wrong or if it's somebody we know. Now, we're also going to reach out to this client and we're going to offer 2 choices. We're going to say, hey, I read your review. I am so sorry. I just did not get it right, but I know that I can. Would you give me the opportunity to fix your hair? I promise I can get it done. It's complimentary, free of charge. We're going to do whatever we can to make you happy. Please give me the opportunity to fix it. A lot of times they'll say, yeah, okay, sure, I'll come back in. And, it just wasn't what I expected. They might be a little uncomfortable because they knew that they wrote a review and they probably should have just reached out. But during this appointment, you're going to be kind, you're going to be generous, you're going to go out of your way to make them feel comfortable. You're going to give them the best hair they've ever had. You're going to apologize again. And then you're going to ask them to update the review or remove the review. And they're going to agree. Usually you don't even have to ask. They just remove it automatically, but sometimes they need to be reminded that you corrected the service, you made it right. Now, sometimes if they forget to remove it, that's where you could respond with, I'm so glad that you came back to see me and that we could get you hair that you loved. It was so kind of you to let me have a second chance. And I'm so excited to see you at your next appointment. That way they know that it's been remedied. Also, your client's going to get a notification that you've written a response to their review, and it says that. And a lot of times they just go on and delete it. The second option, and this is not my favorite option because it breaks most of our policies, but we know we did a bad job. We contact the client. They're like, listen, I'm not comfortable coming back. I've already gone somewhere else. This is where we might offer a refund. Now, this is a very rare situation. This is if the client will not come back. This is if you know you didn't do a great job. And you really just want to get the review taken down, or you just want to make the situation right. I will either offer a partial or a full refund for this. I- you know, if I do this, I do generally ask the client, hey, we're going to give you a full refund. We want to make it right. We're so sorry we didn't get it. Would you mind taking down your review or editing it to reflect that we've remedied the situation? Now, just to be clear, we're not paying them to take down the review. We are offering a refund because we did not do our best work. And we are asking them, because we've offered a refund for the service, just to remedy the review situation. Sometimes they won't. Sometimes they do. And especially if you offer a full refund, but kind of make it clear like, this is a full refund. We hope that you will remove the review. I will still go on and do the same thing. Like, we're so glad that we could remedy the situation. We always want you to be happy. Thank you for allowing us to correct our mistake. I would not write in the review that you gave them a refund, because that opens the door for others to want to break your policy. And it brings in people who are just looking for refunds. So they're going to lie or write a review just to get money back. But I would just mention that you've come to an agreement and you're so happy that you could make things right. So that's the third kind of review. I wanted to get these 1-star reviews out of the way because they're really uncomfy. They're not fun, but what makes it not feel so scary is if you know how to handle it. If it's gray area, you read the review, you close it, and you go, well, what do I do now? That's when it's not fun. If you have a step-by-step thought process, okay, this person's crazy. I'm going to respond to the review or not. If I do respond, I might defend myself, or for me personally, as a business owner, I'm going to defend my stylist, but I'm going to do it so kindly. For example, let me just pull up one of my favorite 1-star reviews for Bex and Co. I've got it on my phone here. We had Peter K, and this review was a long time ago. It was in 2019, and he wrote, 7 months ago, got charged $80 for a men's haircut. Never again. 1 star. So confusing, because I looked up the haircut, and again, it had been like a year before that he got the haircut. Why is he reviewing us a year later? So I responded, hi, Peter. We're so sorry you weren't happy with your experience. We looked it up and saw that your haircut was on January 15th, over a year ago. We always love the opportunity to troubleshoot any concerns. I'm not sure if we'll be able to change much about your haircut since it's been so long, but if you'd like to email us to discuss your experience, it helps us make improvements. You can reach out to me. That way, in the response, I was still super kind and professional, but I did make sure and let it known that you've left us a review about a haircut you got a year ago, and we're really confused about it. That's one way to take care of that. For the second client, the not real reviews, like, you get those and you're like, why did I get this? This person's never even been in my business. Report it, try to get it taken down. And then, of course, real and relevant, what we talked about doing. You just do it quick, you get it out of the way, and you're going to feel so much better when you make it right with that client. So 1-star reviews, that's how we handle it. But more importantly, I want to talk about good reviews. Good reviews are one of the best marketing tools you have. People love to look at Yelp and Google to decide where they're going to go get their hair done. Secondly, it's generally the first thing that pops up when someone Googles, what salon should I go to? Or I want balayage. So there's a couple things you can do here. One, you can advertise with Yelp and Google. It can be a little bit pricey, but you will get a lot of reviews if you advertise with Yelp and Google. So it is helpful for growing your business. Two, you can do it more organically, and you can ask clients for reviews. One thing I want to point out here is that if you send a client a link to your Yelp and ask for a review, Yelp is going to take that review and it's going to put it in a category called not recommended. I guess they think that we're not supposed to ask for reviews or send links to our Yelp. So better ways to do it is to use a QR code, or ask the client to just Google your Yelp page and always put your name in the review, and review you specifically. Ways to ask for that review are to say, and I have this in my templates, hey, I love doing your hair, and I hope you love what we're doing. I assume you do because you're always so happy and you always come back to me. What helps my business tremendously is if you leave me a review on Google or Yelp, your choice. It's just really going to help me grow my clientele since I'm still building my business. Is that something you would mind doing? the client's going to be like, oh my God, I would love to leave you a review. Hold on, let me do it right now while I'm sitting in your chair. And they're going to write you this beautiful review with your name. They're going to put 5 stars. They're going to sing your praises. And that's going to go in internet history. So we want those reviews and we want to ask for them as often as we possibly can. The big difference between an organic review that we've asked a client for and advertising and paying Google or Yelp to help us get reviews is that when we advertise through Google and Yelp and get paid reviews, usually they're going to be very short, like 1 star, great haircut. They might not even mention your name. So we want to make sure that we have a mix of paid for reviews and organic reviews that we've asked for. These are going to help you grow your business tremendously because it's going to put you up on the Google search a lot higher. It's also, if somebody were to Google Bex & Co., my shared workspace salon where we have 100 independent contractors, and Google and Yelp shows reviews, and one stylist has 10 times as many reviews as someone else, that's who the client's going to ask for. That's who they're going to go online and book. So really, these reviews, if you're building your business or filling in gaps, are going to be crucial for any new clients that want to come to the salon you work at, but don't know who to ask for. So make sure that your clients are putting your name in there. I know I've already said that, but that's a huge one. We get lots of reviews that say my stylist. And then Bex & Co. is generally not even lumped. We have a few locations separate, but a lot of times they will review on the main Bex & Co. site. So it doesn't even say the location the stylist is located at. So we want to make sure that the reviews are saying the stylist that they use. So when you ask for your review, say, can you include my name? And can you include what location I work at? Or can you just make sure that my name is on it? Because we as a salon are going to help them to find the location the stylist is worked at, or the location where the stylist works at. Last, I want to give you guys some real life examples. I know we've already done a few of some of our bad reviews and how we've handled them. Again, when I first got these reviews, it was like couldn't sleep at night, made me sweaty, made me nervous. And now I can kind of laugh about them. Some of them are long, some of them are crazy. But yeah, here we go. Here's a couple for you. I really, really wanted to try this place because it's close to my job. When I emailed using their website to set up an appointment, I received an email, but didn't really get the information that I needed. I tried calling them after hours and left a voicemail because no one answered. The next day, they called back and left me a voicemail. Again, I work late, so I tried calling them after hours again and left a voicemail. They called me back and left a voicemail. I finally called during business hours and got someone on the phone. She sounded like she did not want to talk to me. I don't know if they were busy, but I couldn't really find an available time that worked for me. I needed to ask her when will they be available, but I did not feel welcome, so not calling again. So this is one of those reviews where, yes, we probably had a communication problem with reception. However, if a client is calling after hours and angry that we're not answering the phone, they've never been into the salon and just felt like the person wasn't helpful enough. The information they left out is they probably said, "Hi, I want to come in today for a full highlight. Please tell me what times." Whoever answered the phone probably said something along the lines of, "It doesn't look like we have any times for a full highlight today. Can we look at another day? Or it looks like we can't really get you in until next week. Is that something you want to try?" And the person was probably angry that they couldn't come in for a highlight that day. So to that review, let's see how we responded. That one's been 4 years ago. So let's see. Thank you so much for reaching out. We're so sorry that we could not connect. We do have online booking for these situations where you can go online and avoid having to call altogether, especially for clients who work. Here's a link to our website. We hope that you'll be back and give us another try. It, you know, it doesn't necessarily take a ton of responsibility because really we don't want to take more than 50% responsibility for that, but it also tells clients how to book through our website. So while we did get a 1-star review that does come across as a little silly, it also gave the client, not that client, but other clients looking at us, how to book through our website, because calls aren't really the best way to book appointments anyway. I don't know if that's true for everyone, but definitely for my business, we don't really like calls. We like emails, we like texts, we like things with paper trail, just so we can look back and make sure that there weren't any mistakes with the appointment. Let's do another one. These are kind of making me sweaty. I'm not going to lie. Um, so here's one that the client was angry. I think there was a miscommunication, but I'm going to read this client's Yelp review. I'm very disappointed with my experience. I went in wanting full highlights and showed my stylist a photo of ash brown highlights. She mentioned from the very beginning that I would most likely have to come back to get my final results because my hair is dark and thick, which I was prepared for. When discussing price, she said she would cap me at $450 with the understanding that it might be necessary to have a second appointment. Never did she let me know this cost was not my total charge. When someone says the term cap after mentioning a second appointment, that leads me to believe she is providing me with the full charge. Her pricing on the website states $350 for highlights and cut. I understand that my hair type could be more, which is why I accepted the additional $100. However, when trying to set my second appointment, I asked if there would be additional charges to ensure I wasn't going to drive 30 minutes just to have a surprise bill. She then lets me know that it will be another $300 to finish my highlights. $750 for highlights before tip is insane to me. I feel entirely misled. Wouldn't it be responsible to discuss the full charge before getting started on my hair? Additionally, my first appointment ran from 4:30 to 10:30 p.m. So I spent 6 hours in the salon just for my color to be stripped and be left with streaky copper hair. She ended the appointment by saying this was a very long appointment. Hopefully the next one won't need to be so long. Her profile says she works with thick hair. It keeps going. This is clearly someone who's not super educated in, and I don't mean that unkind, but they don't understand that uh, lightening very thick, dark, likely box dyed color hair is going to take multiple appointments and you're going to pay every time. I think the stylist was explaining, I will cap today's appointment at 450, even though we're going to spend 6 hours on it, knowing that she was getting into a very long, very difficult appointment. The client understood it as however many appointments it takes to get you as blonde as you want to be, you're only going to pay 450. To me, that sounds unreasonable and a little bit crazy. Like, well, what if it takes 10 appointments? We don't know your hair, we don't know what's on it. This is a color correction. You've got very thick hair, but the client doesn't understand that. They hear capped at 450 and they understand it as you are going to keep working on my hair until I get exactly what I want, and I will never pay more than 450. So it left the client very dissatisfied. So I understand there was a communication error with a client who possibly doesn't understand our industry, and that, yeah, if you want to go blonde from dark box color hair that's really thick, 750 plus tip is totally reasonable. In fact, if you were sitting in my chair, I would either say no, or you'd be looking at $1,500 to $2,000 with very thick, long box colored hair that's going to be 3 6-hour appointments. It's going to be expensive. So to that, we responded to her via email, and I explained, I understand where there was a miscommunication. Let me explain a little further what our policies are and generally how this works. I explained that if it takes multiple appointments, generally you're going to pay every appointment, and that I'm pretty sure the stylist meant she was capping the appointment that day. But I completely understand where there was a miscommunication. That's our fault. We definitely need to be clear in our consults. This client, however, stayed very angry. They were said that they've already gone somewhere else and spent another $600 and they're still not blonde. I realized at this point that this client maybe had unreasonable expectations. I did not offer a refund on behalf of the stylist. I just said, I'm so sorry we couldn't get you where you want to be. But I'm so glad that we could have a learning experience where we know to communicate better in our consultations. And hopefully for you, you understand, and I didn't say it exactly like this, but that these appointments are very challenging and very time consuming. And that I really hope that you're able to find a stylist to get you where you want to be. Done. They didn't respond. She didn't respond after that. And we let it go. I think we responded to the review with like, I'm so sorry we couldn't get you where you wanted to be. Sometimes with very thick, very dark hair, it takes multiple sessions. And I'm sorry we weren't clear that 450 was the cap for the day, not for the service in general, because we want to make sure clients are educated on knowing what it takes to go from black box dye to blonde hair. And so I don't mind writing that into a review. Now that I've read you some of our 1-star reviews, just to be clear, I can count on 2 hands how many 1-star reviews that we have. We're like rated at like a 4.7 on both sites. 1, because I diligently watch them and I have them taken down if they're incorrect. 2, because we do good work and we encourage our clients to reach out if they have a problem. But yeah, out of hundreds and hundreds of reviews, we've probably got 10 or under. Those were some of my favorites that we've gotten. Just about, you can get a review about just about anything. One thing to prevent bad reviews is just to make your policies really clear. Let clients know that they can reach out if they're not happy so that they don't feel like they have to write a review. A review should be a last resort. If a business refuses to accommodate you, and that's what I believe it should be. However, sometimes people don't feel comfortable reaching out, so they tend to go straight to the review when really they should have given us the opportunity to fix their hair. Hold on, I lost my screen here. There, hi, sorry. When they really should have given us the opportunity to fix their hair. So this is just learning lessons. There's no exact right or wrong way to respond. Well, the wrong way is to get angry and defensive and write something really hateful or negative. Never do that. But this is up to you and your policies. Sometimes it's okay to reinstate your policies in a response to a review, but very kindly and very professionally. A good example of that would be a client that says, this person charged my card without permission when I didn't go to the appointment. This is where you could respond with, I am so sorry that you felt like you didn't give me permission. When you scheduled your appointment, you signed a form that said my policy is blank, 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 and that you are charged if you no show. Unfortunately, we didn't have you show up for your appointment and we are following policy by charging. However, I'd love for you to reach out to me. I'd love to get you rescheduled and I'm happy to put that dollar amount towards your next appointment. Easy. Or I'm happy to put 50% of that amount towards your next appointment, whatever you want to say, whatever your policy is. But again, it just reinforces your policies online. It keeps you from being a pushover and it sets clear boundaries with clients. So just to recap, 3 types of reviews, how to handle them, what to do with good reviews, how to use them in your favor, how to market with them, how to ask clients for reviews, and some of our favorite reviews from Bex & Co. that at the time made me sweaty, but now I can actually look at and not think much about them. Thanks, guys, for joining me on Glam Chats. We do this every Monday, 10 a.m., different subjects. I would love to get feedback on subjects you're interested in, anything you guys need help with, anything you're curious about, anything about going independent, anything salon related. I've been in the industry for 20 years. I've dealt with just about anything. I've coached tons of stylists. So I would love to share my knowledge on subjects. So feel free to go to our Facebook group or my Instagram, also known as Bex, YouTube channel, wherever you are watching us, and let me know what topics would really, really help you out. Thanks for joining. I will see you on our next Glam Chat. Talk soon. Bye, guys.